Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made missiles here at Russia's Bryansk region. Russia's defense ministry just releasing that information days after U.S. President Biden eased those restrictions on Ukrainian use of American-made weapons in the war that is now marking its 1,000th day.
And to all the left, all of the Democrats that voted for these people and wanted them to get a whole nother 4 years, look at what they're doing to your country, and we ain't even made the transition yet. The inauguration hadn't even happened. You can't even blame this. You can't even blame this on Trump. It is in the news that Biden gave the okay. What do you have to say? That's your president.
China! We ready for the topics that get you banned? In my opinion, something feels very off. We're all excited that Trump greatness won the election. But it's important that everybody understand that Biden is trying to stay in power. Oh yeah, here we go. Y'all don't want to hear this. But by allowing Ukraine to use U.S. air missiles against Russia, yeah, United States missiles. That's Biden trying to stay in power. Now, this is stuff I've been saying since 2020. I've lost 5 accounts behind it. So listen up, like, share, favorite, whatever you got to do. Because nobody wants to talk about this, but I'm going to be the one. The last 4 years of Joe Biden's administration has been nothing but American history-made destruction. Biden promised Trump a peaceful transition of power. A few days after the interview, he gives Ukraine authorization to use military missiles to strike inside of Russia. Listen, hasn't the left been extremely quiet? Do you not feel the off vibe in the air? Now keep in mind, we have at least 2 months. We're in November, December, January, at least 3 months before, this month's basically gone, but before Trump swears in. You know how much drama can pop off between now and then? And what Biden just did, in my opinion, this is nothing but a plot to stay in power. What have I always said? If martial law is declared, you cannot unseat the sitting president. If war is declared, you can't unseat the sitting president. The Simpsons did predict a female president after all, right? Why did it take Kamala so long to concede? Remember all the political figures saying, oh, we see Kamala winning. Kamala will be president regardless. Now, are we starting to question what they meant by that? Listen, I'm not saying this is going to come to pass. I'm not saying I'm right about everything. I'm saying read the writing on the wall, and look at every account that's been banned by me saying this. I smell drama in the water, and Joe Biden is the one cooking. And it just looks to me that with Biden, Kamala, and Trump all in the water, somebody plans on cutting Trump's life raft and never letting him get sworn in. Are we headed for a dictatorship? TikTok, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and all I'm doing is asking questions about what the news is saying about the facts.
Although he makes a compelling argument, I'm always optimistic. Let me put some optimism in there. Because Trump is such good friends with Putin, Putin just gonna tear Ukraine ass up. He's not gonna start no world war. He's gonna tear their ass up, and what's gonna happen is they're gonna hold off this so-called World War III until Trump gets into office. Trump has already talked to him, but Russia is gonna tear Ukraine ass up. I could just see that now. But after them doing that, and it ain't like Biden said, go ahead and blow him up. No, he asked for permission from Biden, and Biden said, yeah, go ahead. So that's my theory on it. But what y'all think?
A last-minute escalation on your way out, other than to say, don't get it twisted. The Democratic Party now loves war. Joe Biden, our standard bearer, loves war. And we'd like to lose further elections because the American people hate war. But we're the new neocons. So congratulations, Joe Biden, for screwing the Democratic Party and the American voters one more time.
I hear God is good. Huh? God is good. God is so good. You don't believe in God? Can I get a God is good?
Hey man, I need you to stop it.
What? Nah, I want to pay. What's wrong with God is good?
Stop asking that question.
You know, I don't have nothing against people's religion, man. But some Christians are radical and some of the most disrespectful people on the planet. Although I don't support Satanism or anything like that, or anything that has anything to do with any kind of negativity, that is somebody else's belief. And I feel like it's disrespectful to try to throw your belief on somebody else. You know that she doesn't believe in God. You know this to be fact. And at the same time, y'all still buy their clothes and know that she don't believe in God, her and her husband. So I don't even understand that. I don't buy that stuff. For one, it's too damn much money. And two, I don't like the ideology behind all of it. But why would you go and ask somebody that? That's like asking somebody who's Hindu, God is good. They're not going to agree with that. That is so disrespectful. You don't see no other religions throwing their religion on other people outside of Christians. And not just regular Christians, radical ones. Because there's a different ones. There are different kinds of Christians. But yeah, that was disrespectful, man, in my opinion.
It's for educational purposes only. I am fully convinced that the Democratic Party is full of narcissistic sociopaths. Do you know that Ukraine has just launched 6 U.S.-made long-range missiles into Russia and has targeted ammunition storage facilities? Basically targeted their armories. And now Russia, in response, is of course getting their citizens ready for nuclear warfare. They are preparing their citizens for the nuclear warfare. They had plans. The plans were thwarted because Trump got in office, and basically they said the mask is off. Once a narcissist receives a narcissistic injury by being defeated, they then rip their mask off. And that's exactly what happened. Can you imagine us voting them in for another 4 years? What will come of that? They're not even out of office, and this is what they're doing. And one thing I noticed is those that voted for the Kamala and the Democratic Party, they quiet. They real quiet about this whole issue. They was more worried about Beyonce than this. It is ridiculous. Am I surprised? Absolutely not, because we all know that they have been poking this bear literally for a very long time. They had been trying to start this. And the only thing I can hope for is that Putin does not respond. Please don't respond. Please don't respond. Or that at least the allies of Ukraine and Russia don't respond. Like, that's the only thing I'm hoping for, that he just does not bite. I do believe right now that Trump is probably making phone calls and keeping things at bay, because at the end of the day, Putin knows what they're doing. He knows what they're trying to do. Putin does not.
Exactly. Putin knows. And he got a good friend in Trump. I'm telling you, if he doesn't bite, he's not going to shoot up any American station. I guarantee you. But he going to tell Ukraine ass up. I just feel like, because that's what I would do. Oh, so this how you want to play? Say less. I got you.
Nuclear war. He doesn't want war. And he said this a million times. But they keep pushing it. They keep pushing it. And to put the lives of Americans at risk for no reason. This is for no reason, because remember I told you the only reason why Russia started going at it with Ukraine was because Ukraine violated their agreement and tried to join NATO. And Putin made it very clear, don't do that, because I don't want NATO on my borders. And what he do? And what he do? And this is why I'll be staying in the house on New Year's. Now, at this point, I want to hear what those of y'all that voted for Kamala, and this is not a slight against you, but I don't understand it. Those that have voted for Democratic Party and Kamala, What do you have to say about this? Kamala made it very clear that she was integral and she was involved with every decision that Biden made, and she agreed with it and she stood by it. With that being said, what say you now? What say you now? I need to know. I need answers.
Exactly. And to all the left, all of the Democrats that voted for these people and wanted them to get a whole nother 4 years, look at what they're doing to your country. And we ain't even made the transition yet. The inauguration hadn't even happened. You can't even blame this. You can't even blame this on Trump. It is in the news that Biden gave the okay. What do you have to say? That's your president.
Please help me convince my husband to get on board and move to Sweden, the land of IKEA.
I want to encourage you to stay here in this country. Donald Trump is not going to be that man. Don't run. He's going to make us here when they over here and start building them desks and stuff in America. He's going to make America great again. Let's go, Donald.
The man is the Allen wrench of culture.
I didn't even know Steve Harvey was a Donald Trump supporter. But more power to him.
Kremlin has reacted to the United States allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles to strike targets in Russia, accusing President Biden of fueling tensions. It's also warning the move could escalate the conflict. The decision by the outgoing US president is a major policy shift. It means Ukraine can now use army tactical missile systems known as ATACMS to defend its forces in Russia's Kursk region on Ukraine's northeast border. Russian President Vladimir Putin previously warned the West that he would consider such a move to be a major escalation in the conflict.
First of all, Biden, why? 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 We had such high hopes. We thought you were gonna transfer peacefully. Why? Why? You seem so happy, like you were... What's going on?
That was an evil grin. He was happy, but it was some evilness behind it.
We knew that this was going to escalate by you doing that. Why did you do it? Do you want to stay in power? Did you want to start World War III? Did you want to... Is Barry behind this? I mean, what is going on? You guys weren't satisfied with the way the election went. So now, okay, let's pull some tricks out of our hat. First of all, you authorized Ukraine to use U.S. missiles to hit Russia and North Korean soldiers. Why did you do that? You knew that they were going to escalate the situation. Guys, what is actually... He wants World War III. He wants World War III. He knows that Trump wants the wars to be done. He knows that Trump wants the wars to be done. I don't understand why you would escalate it. I'll say 2 months before you're supposed to transfer power peacefully, you escalated a war. Y'all, leave your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I think that it's very, I knew that they were too quiet. They were too quiet. We got Kamala, however you say it. $20 million in debt. Trump actually offered to pay it. Okay. She wants to collect money for recount. To recount in all the blue wall states. Okay. That's okay. Then you have Joe, which I thought he was actually okay. He seemed happy. The meeting that he had with Trump, he seemed like he was just gonna transfer peacefully. This is not peacefully, Joe. Joe, this is not peacefully. This is not what it is. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. It's escalated. We just have to pray. And for those that are still praying, don't stop praying. I knew that we had won the fight, but we hadn't won the war. So keep praying. All right? And I'll see you in the next drama. Bye.
That's all you can do, man. At this point, all you can do is keep praying, man. And if you got your gear together, get it together. Get what you can together, because we don't know what's going to happen. But what I can hope to happen is Trump is making them phone calls, talking to Putin and everybody else, all the other world leaders, and he letting them know, look, y'all know why they doing this. Putin, if you decide to tear Zelensky's ass up, then tear his ass up. But I gotta try to make light of the situation. But if that's what you decide to do, that's what you decide to do. But we're asking you to try to hold off and keep peace, because if we start something, then what happens is I won't get to take my seat and control everything like I'm supposed to. Don't give them what they want. Don't buy into it. Let's hope that the conversations are going like that with Trump. That's all we can do and pray. That's what we should be praying for, that he's calling and those conversations are going that way and those people are listening to him. People love Trump. I'm telling you, them world leaders love Trump. And if he say what he says, they listen. They stop and they listen. That's just how good of a dude he is. Nobody's scared of him, but they respect him because of his thought process and the way that he works, and the way he runs a country. So you can't do nothing but respect that. But let's keep praying and hoping for the best, y'all. That's all we can do.
Ukraine has fired a U.S.-built missile at Russia this morning, hours after the Kremlin threatened a nuclear response. This comes as fears of World War III heighten after Biden gave Ukraine the green light to use American-made missiles to strike Russia, a move Moscow warned would spark a nuclear exchange. The Russian Defense Ministry claims they managed to shoot down 5 of the missiles before a 6th, despite being damaged, struck a military facility. Earlier today, the Kremlin press secretary told reporters the Russian Federation reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in the event of aggression against it.
Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made missiles here at Russia's Bryansk region. Russia's defense ministry just releasing that information days after U.S. President Biden eased those restrictions on Ukrainian use of American-made weapons in the war that is now marking its 1,000th day. Ukraine claimed it hit a military weapons depot there in the middle of the night, though it didn't specify what weapons it actually used. The Ukrainian General Staff said that multiple explosions and detonations were heard in that targeted area.
Have you tried to look into religion at all, such as the crucifixion? You have? Do you not want to talk about that?
That lady is terrified at what she saw, because I don't know what that entails about what's happening here, but it's definitely a spiritual war for sure. Definitely a spiritual war.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it here. Look, I ain't want to make this video that long. I just wanted to cover the evilness that's going on in our government. And you got to be some type of evil to where 60 days out before you have to make a peaceful transition, you give people the okay to bomb another country. You got to be some kind of evil, because you have to ask the question, what makes a person so power stricken to the point where they would give the okay just weeks before they have to make a transition of power? What makes you do that? What makes you think that way? But this goes to show the Democrats never cared about you as an American. This is why when Biden did most of his interviews, he was really just talking gibberish. Not because he couldn't talk, because certain days he didn't care. And I honestly believe that he's a drug addict. I believe he's a drunk. I believe he is an alcoholic. I honestly believe that Biden is an alcoholic because on the days that he was sober and he didn't drink, he would speak with such vernacular, right? So it begs the question, did we put an alcoholic in the office? Well, not we, because I didn't vote for him. But did they put an alcoholic in the office? And we can't say Trump drank because he said he's already confessed he's never took a sip of drink ever in his life. That was another reason that made me a follower too, because somebody that thinks with a sober mind knows exactly what they're doing. I knew that everything that he did was not a mistake. But I can't be too sure with Biden because he's an alcoholic. I mean, the apple never falls too far from the tree. Look at his son. I mean, I got a lot of questions. Don't have a lot of answers, but I got a lot of questions. But I will say this. I think that Trump is making them phone calls and he's going to transition into this office. And he's going to get things back on track because they already knew that they would pull some things like this. But this would explain why that when he had his sit down with Biden talking about the peaceful transition, Biden had the big smile on his face. And what I didn't understand is why did he have to sit down with Obama? What was the point of him sitting down with Obama? Obama ain't the president no more. What the hell he need to sit down with him for? Because he was a sitting president, not Biden. Biden was the face. He was the man to take the fall. Those are just my beliefs. But what y'all think? Look, I could rant, but I won't. And with that being said, do what you will with that information. And hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Get in the description, follow all of my social medias. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person. And if you want to see more dope videos, click on the video right there.